Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another episode of All You Can Eat Chelsea. We ain't playing games. Everybody's like, where's the show? Bring me the show. It's funny because I rescheduled the show in the anticipation that Thursday would be a quiet day. We're on the beach. We're playing Norwich. Let's just react to that game instead of trying to do some sort of crazy double upload where we release this episode at 4 and then it's kind of irrelevant by the game kicking off. Little did I know an emergency episode would basically be what that is. And maybe you guys did need that content. But listen, we're here now. Nothing has changed since. A few things have actually been added on in terms of information. So we're going to cover that as well. But your weekly dose of All You Can Eat content is here. So relax, put your feet up, and tuck in to the madness. Miz, how are you doing? The cast and crew, big up. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, doing as well as we can, I suppose. Uncertainty, but yeah, I mean, I'm at a state where I just want Chelsea Football Club to be sold ASAP. That's how I'm feeling. That's it. To cut it short, to be honest. So
yeah. And Younes, bro. What about you? How you feeling, Younes, bro?
I'm good. I mean, at the moment. Spare change. Anyone? Spare change. I've got 22p. Spare change.
Don Robbie actually gave me 70p on DR Sports, so I've got 70p. So now you've got 90p. So we only need 10 more pounds, and we almost got that pound, baby. Do you know what I'm saying?
Come on. We can put that into Chelsea and save the club.
Come on, yes.
We're not too far away from buying the club now.
I'm telling you, there's about to be a new consortium group, and they ain't ready for this one. Do you know what I'm saying? Imagine if we bought the club.
Imagine all you can eat from the Chelsea boardroom.
Every time I hear the word consortium, I keep thinking box of chocolates, like consortium. It's a box of chocolates or something. Like it's a mad word, man. It's the word that's been going around. Like, everyone's a consortium now. Maybe we should have a YouTube consortium. Can we have a YouTube? Would this be called a consortium?
It would.
Yeah, it would.
A group. It's like multifaceted. These words are just traveling through our fan base for fun, aren't they? It's actually incredible. Before it was generational, when all the Cobham youngsters broke through, then we realized half of them we were kind of overrated and we needed to put that word down for a second and understand what it means. Then we moved on to this new word that you've just mentioned here.
Consortium.
Yes.
Consortium.
I'm picturing Lint, like the company Lint walking in and trying to buy Chelsea.
Yes.
Oh my God.
All the different flavors of Lindt chocolate. Consortium. There you go.
Imagine instead of pucker pies and burgers and chips, you're just chocolate and beer.
I'm going to start using that word at Christmas. Welcome to the consortium, everyone. It's good to see you again. Haven't seen you guys in ages. This consortium of cousins that I have here. It's
Merry consortium.
Parents can be looking at me like, what are you talking about? Like, there is a group of us, isn't there? So we're all consortium. What's wrong with you? Wake up. Jesus Christ. Big up to everybody watching in the show, in the chat. Whether it's a premiere or it's just a straight upload, I have absolutely no idea. I haven't even decided what I'm going to do. Whatever decision is made, welcome, whatever way you are watching. I guess the first thing we'll do is we'll talk about the game, because I feel like the game was worth talking about. If it was just a dead 0-0, then obviously we'd probably just gloss over it and move straight on. But I feel like they played a good enough first half, and there were enough nice patches of football in that first half, especially. Second half, we kind of lost a bit of control. We'll get into it. To definitely speak on. Miz, I mean, this is I don't know how many games in a row, because I'm kind of just in the Neverland where I'm just dreaming at this point, because I called for this for so long. I don't even know how many games in a row it's been, but I am living the dream right now, as they say. 3
Premier League wins in a row, maybe?
Yeah, but how many games in a row has it been?
Only this.
How many games in a row has it been Kai up top? Because that is the dream.
Since Club World Cup, I think. Club World Cup.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I have been calling for this on the show for months. I have been praying, waiting, hoping, wishing. You know what I'm saying? I have literally been asking for this for so long, because everybody's been talking about the system and the service and have you got 4 bars? Have you got 5? No, we ain't even got a company to hang our hat on in terms of free. But what we do have is a striker up top that is going to cover the ground. He's got an assist and a goal to his name yesterday. And he's literally...
Again.
Supply. again, you know, he's literally doing the business up top is Kai. So, I mean, how happy are you to see Kai reaching that second half of the season form right now? Obviously, he had a good patch actually earlier in the season when he was going on a run of games when he was up front, but he didn't really get a lot of goals. But what did you make of Kai's performance? Because for me, he was man of the match.
Yeah, for me, he was man of the match as well. I told you guys when I was at Club World Cup, one player that really caught my eye live was the way Kai was moving. And since then, I was sold that this guy needs to keep playing because there's something about him that is very delicious, very unique than all the other players. Obviously, Ziyech is the X factor and whatnot, but Kai is just a polished player. And since then, since the Club World Cup, he's just been going power. Do you know what? He's the perfect example of how to take an opportunity and absolutely seize the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, life gives you an opportunity. He was watching Romelu Lukaku week after week after week after starting, probably thinking inside, yeah, this brother does not deserve to start. How is he starting every game? And then, luckily enough, he gets the break. He starts. And boy, oh boy, Lukaku, well, you're lucky now we got sanctions, so you can't even leave. I was going to say your Chelsea career is over. Well, you're lucky. UK government saved you. Your Chelsea career continues.
Hey, you never know. If it gets really bad, we might have to raise funds. He'd be the first one out the door.
We might have to raise funds. But yeah, man, Kai Havertz, he's getting better and better and better. He's passing. Do you know what? Forget about the assists, forget about the goals, because they're all fantastic. They're all fantastic about Kai Havertz, right? What I really want to highlight to both of you guys is the ground he covers, man. It's so underrated. He's on the right. He's on the left. He's in midfield. He's in defense.
He's in catering.
But he's in catering. The guy is the N'Golo Kante of attack. He really is. Like, the way we tell how Kante covers so much ground. Someone should do the stats. I don't know how much kilometers he covers. He must cover a lot. He covers a lot more than Lukaku. That's for sure.
He's getting a lot more touches on the ball. I can confirm. I can confirm he's definitely winning a lot more duels as well. I can confirm, you know. And he's also, like you said, covering ground. And I don't know how many kilometers because that is not on my stat website. But what I do know is that he definitely at one point became Harry Kane and dropped into midfield so deep that he was in the regista role. And I was like, what are you doing there? But he did start the move and then he kind of progressed up the field. But one thing I did mention tactically in my review, which is he kind of predominantly was hovering in that right side with Mason. They were very close together, weren't they? You know, the link-up play from those two all first half was absolutely bellissimo. It was wonderful. It was unbelievable. They were so good. Great connection, great 1-2s, little bits of build-up between them. And they were kind of in their own world. It was like seeing two best friends. We talk about Mason and Declan Rice. This was Mason and Kai. We talk about Kai and Timo. This was Kai and Mason. They were in their own little world. Do you know what I'm saying? Just la li la. Do you know what I'm saying? If you see some of them moves, they didn't involve anybody else. Like it was just, I remember
1-2'd with each other.
Yeah. And then Kai goes in behind, and who does he pick out? Mason. And Mason obviously slashes it over the bar, unfortunately. But they literally just in their own little world. And it was nice to see because obviously they're two players that are part of the future. They're around the same age. Apparently they've become best friends off the pitch as well, because I was always worried that if Timo didn't work out, would Kai then become unsettled because he doesn't have a best friend anymore, etc., etc. It sounds like Kai and Mason off the pitch are actually really close and really good friends, which is great because now we don't potentially have to spend 100 million on a best friend. You know, if the price doesn't come down, not that we can't even afford it anyway. So that dream is for many very much dead. You know, if you want a DM now, you better start chatting to Calvin Phillips if Leeds get relegated. At your best, maybe even Ethan Ampadu can get recalled. You can forget all of your links to your big names that cost a whole heap of money. But I just thought those two for me were probably the best players on the pitch for us. Maybe Thiago Silva comes in afterwards. But those two on that right-hand side, they were all build up. And Timo Werner, Younes, was kind of like... You already know how I'm going. Timo Werner was just like... I'm trying to think of the best analogy here. You have the popular kids... and then you have the not so popular kids. And Timo Werner was like the kid in the corner who hasn't made any friends yet, isolated on the left-hand side, just making those decoy runs to different friendship groups in the first day of school. Like, you know, he was just literally just going to groups and being like, hi guys, my name's Timo. You need any friends? No, we're good. We're fine. You don't really fit in here. And check out those guys. Hi, Timo. Hi. You need any friends? No. Okay, it's cool. It's fine. You know how he's all cheerful and chappy and does all his little dances. And he just keeps going. He just kept making runs. He was making runs and sometimes pressing. I remember one time he pressed the front line. You look behind him. There's nobody there. He's like, oh, no. I was like, Timo, this is not. You are disconnected, bro. If there's anybody who suffered from the free sponsorship, it's you. You are disconnected.
Disconnected.
You are disconnected.
Free took Timo Werner with them. No, I was waiting to see what analogy you'd pull out the bag, and you pulled one out the bag there. Well done. That was class. But you're spot on. That was actually exactly how it seemed. It just seemed like Timo was a little lost, but desperate. Like he was. You can see he always tries, but his execution sometimes is non-existent. So it's like a case of, as you said, him running all over the gaff, trying to find and make something happen. Nothing happens. He's just like, I can't do any more. So look, at the end of the day, we all knew that Timo Werner wasn't going to be, at least up until the first season at Chelsea, that he wasn't going to be it. Kai Havertz thankfully has stepped up, and I think Kai is proven to be the one right now. So our focus should be on him. Now, whether we can actually get rid of players right now, we can't. So it's a case of everyone at Chelsea stuck. That's just the way it is. Unless if you're coming to the end of your contract, then you don't have a say. You're out the door. See you later.
Then you're out.
Then you're out. Bye. So with Timo, look, nice presence. We'll see what happens. That's it, really.
I mean, Younes, though, are you surprised how flawed Werner? His technique is so flawed. I have to be honest. I didn't watch enough Leipzig, right? But I did see bits and pieces of him. I've never seen him. I'm now at a point where I'm thinking, how are you a footballer? I'm seriously. How have you made a living? This is mad.
You know, yeah. When I look at his time at Leipzig, for example, he had more technique. But then again, I just think that comes down to more time and space. I really do think that it's that millisecond that lets him down. I don't think he can adapt to it. I just don't think he can. I think he has moments, but apart from that, overall, he's not as free as he was in Germany. And I think that freedom is what he needs. And when he doesn't get it, he panics, loses control, loses his composure, is turned into a headless chicken who just runs and tries to make something happen too desperately. When you try too hard, you fail easier. That's just the way it is. So I just don't think he'll adapt. I just think England's too quick for him.
You know what? Yeah, I think, sometimes I talk about footballers and I think to myself, you can do things in space and with time, and that's great because you're a footballer and that's what you should be able to do. You've trained all your life for this moment. Now you up the tempo and you say to yourself, right, you've got to do it at a faster pace, which is what Saul struggled with as well at Chelsea. And then we say as well, you got to do it in tighter spaces. It changes a lot for some people, It does. That becomes a big deal. And it's like, it just goes to show that just because you can do it with time and space, for me, the real difference between a good player and a great player is being able to do it at a different tempo now and with less time and space.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now that is the difference between coasting and gliding and being a good footballer and being an elite footballer who I know my surroundings. And now when you're really testing my technical ability, it has to be A1 because you ain't getting that time. So that first touch has to be perfect. In the Bundesliga, maybe that first touch can hit a family member in the crowd and you can still recover and you can still kick on to go and score. Over here, that don't work. It don't work over here. That you don't get that same time. The low, I keep saying it, and it's giving me PTSD now ever shopping in Bundesliga again. But they just don't do low blocks over there. I don't think they've even heard of a low block.
No, they don't do that.
The way they defend is just, it's so foreign to me and to everything that I'm used to. Just from a big club perspective, you're in England, you're set up to get used to breaking down a block. They will come and they will set up defensively and you will have to try and, get through that with incisive, accurate passing, and everything's got to be inch perfect. Otherwise, they're going to be defensively okay. And over there, it's just that's just doesn't exist,
Also, with yesterday's game, let's have it right, because yesterday was the game with the most chance of getting space out of all the opponents in the Premier League, right? You saw the amount of room that Mount had, Havertz had, and they were loving it. Especially Mason. At times he looked like prime Iniesta, and I don't mean that in terms of like, he was absolutely incredible on everything he done, but he had all the time in the world, and he was having fun. Same for Kai Havertz, all the time in the world, because he had all that space. Norwich were not good defensively at all in that first half, I would say. Second half, they tightened up a bit because they were more on the attack, and that kind of just meant putting us on the back foot. But Werner couldn't capitalize. Mason capitalized. Havertz capitalized. Werner couldn't. If you're not doing that against Norwich, that's down to you. That's not even down to, you've got all the space and time. That's you. You're losing your first touch. You're taking too long. You're making the wrong decision. You're making the wrong run. In the same way we were talking about Lukaku not doing the right things, and that it's not just all about, the ball getting to him. Bruv, you're the one that's flopping things yourself. Yeah. It's the same with Werner yesterday, because he had everything in terms of what he needed to play well. The other two done fantastic. You didn't. So, yeah.
That's a very good point, though, Younes, where you just said Kai and Mount loved the fact there was so much room. We're going to come across teams very soon in the Premier League that are not going to be so foolish like Norwich. Norwich, real big-time foolish to be setting up like that. They should have seen our previous matches, how difficult it is for us to break down. But I think the key factor is, boys, our players, the real plaudits, the real standing ovation is really going to come when you're able to work in tight spaces, less room available. How can you maneuver and go behind the defense with quick passing, quick movement? I think this is what we've failed to see often enough this season. Do you know what I mean? Last game against Burnley, it was really good to see that, but that was because Reece James unlocked 3 defenders, and then it opened up the game. I really want to see Mason, because a lot of people are like, getting happy again. Mason, he's back. I want to see him ball it next week against Newcastle. Not even next week.
This Sunday.
In a couple of days. Because they are going to be a lot sharper when it comes to defending. So open up Newcastle and you'll get the standing ovation. Kudos to get the 3 points against Norwich with the circumstances that we had, with the mindset. I love it. 3 points, fantastic. But please, let's see what you can do against Newcastle, who's on a 8-match unbeaten, 6 wins.
I think it's 9-match now. Yeah,
they're doing right now, man. Yeah, they've
after the Southampton result. Yeah, 9-match unbeaten.
So win this. I'll stand up. I show you all stand up.
To finalize, I think it was best explained by Pep. So let's listen.
Because they have 3 central defender closers, the 2 holding midfielder, rotating movement, the pockets closer. They're structured of 5 and 2 players so close. And the distances are so close. And in the same time, they're so wide with the wingback with the Werner moving in behind. Because
there you go. For me, that's the explanation. So he just needs to listen to that, and there you go. The spaces are close, Werner. That's but they can be wide because of you, but they are close also. So I want to move on to obviously Kante's impact, because I mean, people say I don't praise Kante enough. I said, for me personally, I think he's been inconsistent, which means sometimes good, sometimes not so good. Just in my opinion, for what I want. Now, I see the game differently to a lot of others, especially in this country. I feel I've always believed in this country, traditionally, mentally, people are obviously going by English football and English game. And I don't particularly like the English game in terms of style. I prefer, obviously, what the successful nations have done, which have actually won international tournaments. So I prefer possession-based football. I prefer players.
Listen, it's coming home, yeah. It's coming home, man.
I prefer players that obviously keep the ball, So for me, when I watch football, if you give the ball away unnecessarily, and even if you win it back, I'm still going to criticize you because I feel like in a possession-based team, giving the ball away cheaply is something that it's a pet peeve of mine.
I despise it as well.
I can't take it because I'm like, you're giving the ball away cheaply. Yeah, you just want it back, but you've killed an attack. So I've said he's been inconsistent. Great against Lille. Some people thought he was good against Liverpool. I don't feel like he was as good. But like I said, but yesterday, the impact, lovely. As soon as he came on, that's how we got our third goal, was that substitution. It wasn't nothing to do with Lukaku coming on. Because I didn't really feel like Lukaku coming on was going to change too much. I feel like, yes, Werner needed to come off. I feel like potentially Saul Niguez could have come off as well, because I feel like that left-hand side was starting to get stripped. Rudiger could have come on as well, just to maybe help the left-hand side. So there wasn't Lukaku who I was looking for. But I did think, okay, if we get Kante on, we're going to be better defensively, and potentially in transition, he's going to just bring the energy to just split open this game. And that's exactly what he did. He came on and started just dribbling, carrying the ball and just adding life and into the team. And it was such a good impact. And I feel like this is how we should use him in games like this, because you don't need him from the start. And we saw that in the first half. We didn't need Kante to win this game. But when, you have the opportunity to rest him and keep him fit, this is how you take that opportunity. So you look after him. You bring him on for these little 10-minute, 15-minute bursts when everybody's getting tired, and he just changes the game. And he was brilliant when he obviously made that assist for Kai for the third goal, which was crucial. Miz, what did you make of us in the second half as a whole, even before Kante came on? Because it's weird. Loftus-Cheek came on for Aspie. I think Aspie apparently had a stomach cramp, or I don't know what happened.
Or something like that.
Yeah, so I thought he was just protecting him for Sunday, because obviously there's no Reece, so we have to have Aspie fit now. Unless we're going to play Ziyech at right wing back and kind of do what we did against Tottenham, where we kind of shift the team to a back four. That's the last option, the last resort. But Ziyech has obviously just come out from injury and he's looking after him. What did you make of the second half, where we kind of just lost control a bit, and obviously we got absolutely stripped on both flanks? Like, it was getting peak.
Yeah, Max Aarons was doing it dirty on Saul, and who was on the left side?
And Christensen.
Christensen got hammered by Max Aarons. And on the left side as well, I think Brendan Williams, wasn't it? That was doing the trick over there. Look, I was harsh when I was doing the watch along. I'm pretty sure you guys probably felt the same. I was like a bit annoyed. Why are we letting Norwich in? But then when the game finished, I realized as fans how dejected we felt throughout the day. We couldn't even think about there was a game coming up. You can only imagine how the players feel, not knowing their future, not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. Do I have a job here? Am I going to get paid? Like, is Chelsea Football Club going to pay me? You know what I mean? So look, but having said that, Matisse, you do have a point. Like, it's not like we haven't lost control. We've seen losing control in previous matches as well. This isn't a one-off situation. That's a bit uncharacteristic from Chelsea. They lost control. So look, I wasn't happy with that, but I'll let it slide because of all the other circumstances that's happened. But yes, perfect substitution from Thomas Tuchel to bring in Kante. But do have to say, what's with him waiting till 85th minute, 86th minute to do these? I mean, these brothers could have, like Kante. Younes was talking about the gaps that was presented by Norwich. Kante could have exploited that 10 minutes before he even came on. He would have got into those pockets of space, and maybe we get a few more goals. So I don't know. Like, I think that's where we missed a little bit of a trick, where I felt like, Tuchel, you can see we're losing control. What are you waiting for? Like, you could have unleashed Kante 10 minutes earlier. I don't think that would have done too much damage to his, that whole red zone analysis, or they can only pay X amount of minutes per week and so on and so forth. I don't think 10 minutes would have done much difference. So, look, yeah, I don't want to spend too much time. 3 points, I'm happy with it. I'm more interested to see how we now shape up against Newcastle, because that is going to be a proper challenge, and players would have had a few days to digest what's going on with the club. Let's see what happens.
It's going to be quite a game, really, isn't it? It's going to be a case of You know that
The broke versus the rich, the transition of power.
Oh, man.
it's that guy that's been loaded for so long and now is struggling versus the one who's just managed to get and equip themselves with a massive fortune and is going, "You're right, mate. What's up?"
We were the rich guy that literally used to say to Newcastle, "Do you need any spare change? Do you need? Because I know you've got Mike Ashley in the Sports Direct, and we have spare change if you need." Newcastle used to be like, "Oh, fucking hell, yeah, come on, bring on the 50p's, man, load them up." And now we're looking at Newcastle like, "You got any spare change?" They're looking at us like, "What happened?" I don't want to talk about it, bro. I won the lottery and it's all gone. Just hand over the 50p's back, bro. We know you're loaded. It's mad. It's the complete.
They could bail us out. They have that much money.
They could. They really could. How times change.
Bail us out, Newcastle. What did we ever do to you?
Exactly.
Bail us out.
We've actually always liked you. You know, Pape Cisse won the shot against Petr Cech. We kind of all stood up and applauded that. You know, Demba Ba. That was a transactional move for 7 million. You were robbed in that instance. We're apologizing for that there. But
Loic Remy, do you remember Loic Remy?
Yeah.
You know, we've got good business. I feel like we've got something here. Yeah, soon I'm sure we'll hate each other like Man City. I used to have a show called The Oil Boys. We haven't run that in a while because we went from the Oil Brothers to the Oil Enemies after the Champions League final. It is what it is. Also, Christensen, he in this saga has lost out massively from a PR point of view because he's moved to Barcelona just before we are unable to give new contracts out. So if he had just waited a little bit longer, he could have finalized his move and everybody would be like, fair enough, we couldn't sign him up anyway. Like the PR could have been absolutely incredible for Christensen, as it will be for Rudiger if he does leave. Just all about patience, I guess, kind of just bad timing. But part of the second half demise, and the last bit I want to speak on before we move on to the future of the football club and how we're going to collect these pounds for the bridge, is Trevor Chalobah giving away that penalty. I feel like he's had a very good debut season, and I feel like a lot of people have been giving him an unnecessary amount of heat because I feel like they're forgetting that it's his first season in the Premier League because he started the season so well.
People are actually giving him heat.
Well, I've seen a few people saying, "Oh, he's not good enough," and you know he's not going to be good enough. Very, very small little mumbles around Twitter of he's not going to be good enough, and Christensen's leaps and bounds are better. But I feel like it's just people losing in perspective in terms of where was Christensen at this age? You know, when he broke onto the scene for Chelsea, how many mistakes was he making? Where was Tomori in his debut season? Was he making some mistakes? Gurhey, would he have made some mistakes? Levi Colwill will definitely make some mistakes next season. I just feel like first Premier League season, I feel like he's been very, very good. But that penalty, it was weird, isn't it? Because you could tell it was such a human reaction to try and block and get involved in the play, even though you had no right trying to block it, because the only way he's going to do it was to give away a penalty. But the goal was great. So it was kind of like the highs and the lows. But I guess, Younes, are you a lot calmer? Because obviously it's terrible to lose Christensen on a free when we have no idea how much money we're going to have in the summer and who's going to own our football club. It's like a 50 million plus valuation player leaving on a free when we potentially are penny pinching. But are you comfortable with Trevor stepping into that starting role? Because everybody just assumed Koundé would sign. Everybody just assumed we're going for Tchouaméni. Everybody just assumed we're doing this. We can't assume these things anymore. So if we are to just bring back Gallagher, bring back Colwell, bring back Ampadu, bring back Broja, bring back Gilmore. You know, this wouldn't be the worst summer in the world, by the way. I feel like that's actually quite a bit of quality, and we tend to have such a terrible track record with recruitment. I wouldn't actually cry with that type of recruitment and a few sales. What would your confidence levels be going into next season, saying Trevor as a starter, like week in, week out?
Yeah, I mean, all those names you mentioned, for example, if they were to come in, we'll be all right. Like, we won't win the league, but we'll be fine. We'll be okay. And that's encouraging, at least again for one more season if that happens. Talking about Chalobah, I have to give a little word out to Koundé. I mean, he must feel like crap right now. Like the deal fell through last time. Now he's like, oh my God, I can't go. I'm stuck here for life.
He's still in Paris, waiting on the plane.
Honestly, he's probably in that Sevilla dressing room going, I'm never leaving this place.
Sevilla legend.
He's going to be a legend by default. No, with Chalobah though. Chalobah was a sort of play that we'd look at and go, he's a sort of lad that's going to go on a loan, then he'll go on another loan, then he'll go on another loan, and then we'll sell him and see you later. Yeah, and now he's managed to take his chance. He was given an opportunity, and that was by chance. Literally, Thomas Tuchel was like, "Yep, okay, you have one opportunity, take it." He took it, and since then he's been, I'd say, consistent. Yes, there is a mistake in him from time to time, but cut him some slack because it's not all the time, and it's hardly even half of the time. It's from time to time there's an error, but he does loads of good things. And for his first season, I think he's had a very, very, very good first season. Chelsea, and the standard at Chelsea is quite high. Let's have it right. And for him to slot in the way that he did, in the manner that he did, is very encouraging. I mean, even Reece James had a mistake in him last season, when you remember. Or when Lampard first brought him up. Look at him now. Man is shining. Probably the best fullback, wing-back in the country. And if the Trent stands are going to come out at me, then I will happily welcome the fight. But, because right now, Reece is the more complete player. Not to say Trent's rubbish. He's not. He's got many qualities. But Reece is growing at such a rate, it's ridiculous. And Chalobah, I feel like, will go on that same sort of trajectory. So I'm confident. If Chalobah were to stay, if he
is staying, he ain't going nowhere.
Anyway, if he were to become first choice, I'll be happy with that. I think he'll grow into it really well.
And we're kind of lucky that A, we have an academy, and B, that we signed young players in Kai, because if we were to get this news come in, say, under Sarri with Higuain and that squad, Morata and whoever else was part of that team, I can't even remember. But if we would be fucked. Like, it would David Luiz and that age group of just like coming to the point of being over the hill, we would be screwed. We didn't have Mendy as well. Like, that's not good. But now we've got, if you was to put together a team of under 25s, or you was to put together a team of long-term players, at Chelsea, you've got Trevor, you've got Levi Colwill, you've got Chilwell when he comes back from injury, you've got Reece James, you've got Mendy, you've got, Gallagher coming back, you've got Kova, you've got Mount, you've got Kai, you've got, looks like Pulisic, to be honest, he'll probably end up staying as well. Ziyech. You've got a nucleus of something there. There is obviously a lot of doubt and uncertainty, because if this was to go to the courts and it was to go on for months and maybe years, which I don't think will happen, because I think the government is in their best interest to get this club sold immediately. And really the only thing that's stopping them is Roma's permission, which I hope he does give them, even though, it's billions of pounds. I'm not expecting. Then obviously the conversation of 2023 contracts would be now an issue. We wouldn't be able to renew Kante, Jorginho, which according to my tweet would not be the worst thing in the world. But now I'm willing to retract with no money that the whole landscape of our club has changed. So I don't necessarily agree with all of my ideologies prior when we had Roman at the helm. I'm not going to lie. There are a lot of changes to my plans now that Roman's not here. And we may be going with an FSG model at best. We might have to strip everything and do everything differently. So if you had
not be a bad thing, it may not
be a bad thing, because I think the way we've acted in transfers, and we're going to pivot kind of to the stability of the club, the way we've kind of moved in the market has been so reckless and so just wild. We don't really know what we're doing. We definitely could have a much better hit rate, and there is a reason why a hit rate is pretty poor. It's because of the lack of stability, the lack of planning, the lack of strategy, the fact that the club targets kind of pivot between manager to manager, and they kind of they're the only constant. The managers aren't constant, but the club targets certainly are. Saul was probably scouted from Conte era, and he's still club target to come on under Tuchel. It's nuts. So maybe going forward under a new ownership, who really, if they're going to want to be more stable and more self-sustainable, and they want to make profit, it's in their best interest for the club to still be competing, because you make more money if you're at the top of the pyramid scheme than if you're not. But that means then if you're going to spend less money, you have to be smarter, and therefore we may actually start recruiting better, etc. So that's the one and big overwhelming positive that I'm going to bring to the table, that I hope it will be the case. You could get Glazers or you could get FSG, and FSG aren't perfect, but I sure as hell like the way they've gone about their recruitment, and I sure as hell like the way they've stuck by Klopp. So there's definitely positives there.
I just want to quickly say, if we didn't do the contract extension for Thiago Silva. Was it January?
Oh,
Was
Lord.
it December? We would have been hammered
Yeah.
if we didn't do Thiago Silva now. Like,
That's true.
We would have walked.
We would liquidate.
We would have walked. I am so glad someone in the hierarchy, and I'm so glad to Thiago Silva and the family to not prolong with the process, and you just got on with it. I'm just upset that we didn't do that with Rudiger. Then we wouldn't have been worried at all. But can you imagine if we were in this state right now and we didn't sign Thiago for that extra year? Well, he's gone.
Yeah, we would be screwed.
Yeah, man.
We would be at that point.
Royally screwed. Yeah.
It'd be a case of, can Thomas Tuchel play centre back at that point?
Do you have a system without centre backs, Thomas? Don't
Just
want to blame
wing-backs.
you, but this could be a systematic issue. Have you tried playing without centre backs? You haven't, have you? So,
Well,
you're not
Ruben
perfect.
Loftus-Cheek would have stepped up.
Oh yeah, of course. The right side centre back, Loftus-Cheek. This brother, they're starting to say in my comment section that he's becoming the James Milner of the squad with the amount of holes that he's trying to plug. He's literally becoming the handyman of the team. He's right back, he's right centre back, he's DM as the regista he played. He's the 8, he's the pivot,
Yesterday-
he's everything.
Yesterday was terrible, though, man. He
Terrible.
should never play right
Yesterday
back.
was terrible.
That was horrific. Oh my god! And I can't blame him. I don't blame Tuchel either. I
Yeah.
don't blame anyone for it.
Yeah.
We didn't have anyone, but my goodness, never again, please.
No,
Never
It's
again.
not a
no,
wing
it was
back.
it was actually quite comedy to watch him out there trying to defend 1v1 against dribblers, and he just doesn't know what he's doing. It's like it's just mad.
Do you remember the flick on header from Mount looking for him in the wings?
Yeah,
and Ruben was in midfield. Mount's like,
Oh shit! I'm meant to be over there. Oh,
Mount's
man.
like, dude, you are playing wing back.
He was like, shit. I forgot about that. I forgot I was in that.
Ruben's like, that's too advanced for me, man. I don't operate in those areas.
To the point where at the end of the game, he went off the pitch and he was like laying down. Do you remember?
Yeah,
And
I think he got injured. He got injured, didn't he?
Tuchel afterwards said that there was nothing serious. It's just exhaustion. I was just like, you can't play wing back.
Man
bro.
was in the
You
position
can't
for
play
man was in the position for
Exhaustion.
5 minutes and exhausted. He was like, bro, this wing back position is heavy workload, bro. This is back and forth, up and down. He was like, whoo, Aspie, how do you do this, brother?
For real.
I'm in the pivot with
For
Saul
real,
against
man.
Watford, ticking things over. Do you know what I'm saying? Moving like a regista, just bopping the ball about. You're up here flying like a maniac down that side at 32. It's like, oh, this is crazy. He's looking at the bleep test next time, thinking, oh, okay, I'll see what this is. This is nuts.
People don't understand, man. That wing back, that's heavy.
ruthless.
spot,
Even
man.
more criminal now that we didn't get a wing back over the summer,
yeah.
which is what Tuchel wanted and needed. Because, as we can see, the injuries are rocking up. And to think that, they were never going to get any game time because we had Reece and Chilwell. Well, Reece and Chilwell, newsflash, bit of rotation wouldn't hurt. Not playing every single game in the most athletic, physically taxing position on the pitch for us right now. Because the midfield certainly isn't, because you've got the 3 centre-backs as the cover. And you've got even Mason who will get. So you're close quarters. You're not in this exposed Frank Lampard 4-3-3 or 3-4-3 at Everton where it's like everybody's just like dashing everywhere to cover everything. Michael Keane. It's like being Spider-Man.
Though, Matisse. It's individual errors.
It's like Spider-Man trying to stop the train from falling off the tracks. It's like. That's literally Alan in midfield. It's ridiculous. And if he gets Everton relegated, can we just make this very clear? He is not.
I already have.
He is not to manage in the Premier League until he goes back to the Championship. I'm sick of this privilege. Yeah.
No. I
No.
actually said in my video, he is not a manager. Frank Lampard's not a manager. Come on, let's not be like. Next topic, bro. He's not a manager.
I was about to say, this is going to get
Bro,
very
he
interesting.
did a good job with Chelsea in the first season, man. He didn't have Hazard, bro. Got us
He's
into
not a
cup
manager,
final.
bro.
It was good.
Enough's
Good for
enough,
us.
man. I
Good.
can be
It's
open
true.
about it. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with Miz here, man. Yeah.
You don't think he's learned enough, Younes, since he was away?
I think he's forgotten
I
stuff.
think
I think he's forgotten a few things.
It's a tough job, and it's a tough scenario. I don't think he's going to get the blame, even if they were to go down. He won't get the blame. But is he going to claw them out of the situation right now? You look at Everton, and there are similarities to the way that it was going at Chelsea.
Just the defending, especially, which is why he recruited Anthony Barry, just so wide open. It was mad. I mean, the defense is the weakest part of their team, and then he doesn't get Barry. It's
play like that against Spurs.
Criminal.
Yeah.
We talk
Forgive
about.
me.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that again. Forgive.
I mean,
but Leeds can't defend either. So everybody's down there struggling with their defense, isn't it? It's quite mad. Watford got slapped up yesterday in Norwich as well.
Yep. The thing with Everton though, especially that game against Spurs, and I know this is a little detour, but when they were already getting spanked, then he was like, "Okay, I'll bring on Dele Alli." I mean, I'm like, "Yo, you're bringing on Dele Alli, who's left the club, who are battering you like 5-0 at this point. For what? Like, if you're gonna play him, because he's just gonna get. I know he got a nice send off at the end, but that's a situation that he's not going to be comfortable in. Start him.
I don't even know why he signed him.
Bring him on at 5-0, man.
I don't think Dele Alli's the guy that takes you out of a relegation battle. I really don't understand why he signed him. Especially when you sign Van der Beek, he's clearly going to be your most creative outlet. He's going to be your epicenter. He's going to be your 10. He's going to be the main man in your attack in terms of midfield. The 10, the 8, whatever you want. Why Ali or how Ali makes any sense in that as his best form as a second striker? You've got Richarlison, you've got Calvert-Lewin, you've got Gray, you've got Townsend. Get a fucking defender. Get a defender. You've got overrated Michael Keane for 30 million. You've got Holgate in there. Get a defender. Pickford, get a centre back. If there was anything to do on deadline day, that would have been it. But maybe they couldn't get it done. If they do get relegated, it will be funny because they've never been relegated and they are difficult for us to go to away from home. So I will take that.
I think it's been 70 years since they got relegated. They did once.
They're a big shout to get relegated. Their fixtures are mad. I can't see how Frank Lampard gets a win. I'll be very amazed.
I still don't think it will be them. I still think it will be Leeds or Brentford. And Leeds right now look absolutely horrendous.
It's a battle between the two of the worst. Who can be the worst of the worst?
Because Watford and Norwich are gone, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're gone. Burnley will come up.
Yeah, 100%.
They've got structure.
Burnley will keep the balance in the Premier League of the wet and windy day at Burnley or Stoke. God forbid Stoke ever came up too and they had to play each other. My goodness.
Yeah.
Why are you doing long throws? That's our thing. No, that's our thing. We did that first. Why is it raining? We started the rain here. What? We made it snow. What are you talking about? Shut the fuck up, mate.
We started the rain here.
Why is there only 2 bars of Wi-Fi? Bro, shut up, bro. Get that. What are you talking about, bro? Crazy. You're copying us, man.
Red card. What? No, 2 red cards for us. Are you done? What? No, 3. I'm not.
Bro, get a 3-footed tackle. I dare you. This. Go on, 3-foot me. Go on.
3-foot me.
Why do you have creativity in corner? We lost track. We lost track.
That's too funny, bro.
You had Borussia, remember, from Barcelona. You tried it too. Don't blame us. Do you remember when they tried that?
Yep.
My God. Stoke really wanted to be something different under Mark Hughes. Everyone was like, relegated. You went away from your roots, relegated. Don't even try and play that fancy shit with us.
Ryan Shawcross is the one that bothered me so much from Stoke. Hated that brother. Hated him. Ryan Shawcross.
He epitomized Stoke.
Peters. Hill. Was it Hill? I can't even remember. Whelan and shit like that in midfield. Glenn Whelan. Yeah, it was.
Didn't Stoke at one stage have that Barcelona player?
Yes, Brojan. Yeah, that's what I said. Brojan.
Oh, Brojan.
Alphalai.
Yeah.
They had Kenwyn Jones though before up front, and
Kenwyn Jones. My God. It's long.
Rory Delap. Yeah,
Rory Delap is a Stoke legend.
Yeah, it's nostalgia right there. Man. What a team!
Long throws for days.
Peter Crouch and Kenwyn Jones up top, the headers.
My days, what football! What classic football. Strategy, tactics,
Tony Pulis in the dugout with the cap. I'm telling you, him versus Sean Dyche. Bring it, man. Bring it.
Oh my God!
Why England?
Like Timo Werner, and who was talking about physicality at the start of the season. He don't even know about physicality. He don't even know about physicality. Put Sean Cross on him and be like,
oh my God.
Is he allowed to do that?
Short cross is actually broken legs. Like, that's how dangerous this brother is. 100%. Was it Eduardo from Arsenal that he broke his leg?
Yeah,
was it Birmingham they played when they did that? Or was that Ramsey?
Anyway, short cross broke legs. That's what you need to know.
Don't need to know whose legs. He broke somebody's legs. All right,
yeah, someone's legs got snapped.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone's leg got snapped, man.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, the next part is obviously, you know, with all of this happening, all of these sanctions, we go through them. Let's go through the sanctions, of course, because you know it is an absolute Mazzolini. I saw budget caps like this was some sort of you know, wedding, you know, for the middle class of if we can travel that far, for the honeymoon after 20,000 budget cap, you know, on the honeymoon, you know. Let's manage ourselves. Maybe we won't be able to go across the whole world. We just go past half of it, you know. 20,000 cap for the away days, you know. No National Express for us to Lille, you know. It's tough times, you know. And then catering and you know what are they gonna have? Is it someone else is gonna start cooking up the meals? Is it gonna be a player that starts cooking up the meals? I saw Kante.
Yeah, Kante there with a flipping spoon in the kitchen, cooking up. I don't know what rice.
But is that how Aspie got the stomach flu? Like, is that because of
maybe we're trying new things out? I don't know.
So hold on a second. Pulisic had an upset stomach. Aspie's got an upset stomach, and I see Kante's cooking up mash in the kitchen. Now something's not quite adding up, N'Golo. Something's not quite adding up, N'Golo.
Okay, what did you put, bro? There's too much spice in that, bro. Stop that spice. These brothers can't handle the spice.
I can just imagine Kante going, I'm very sorry, very sorry.
I'm very sorry.
He's just there giggling as the players around him are choking to death. And N'Golo's like, more spice? No, N'Golo, no spice! Stop, N'Golo. What?
Little bit of paprika.
Oh my god,
that's too funny.
Are you sure? There's so many Kante memes, honestly. Since the there's obviously the meme of Thomas Tuchel waking him up as well. You know, I think he's lying down and they're like waking him up on the team buses. There's so many memes of N'Golo Kante. But I definitely want the cooking meme because, I mean, the catering is so key. It's actually massive. Like, it's not even a joke. If the catering is gone and it's a problem at the club because a lot of key staff gone, media, communications, all these things. If the catering's gone, we do need that Tesco deal that I tweeted because their meal deals are our last hope. You get a ham and egg sandwich, you get a Twix bar, and you get a Diet Coke, obviously, to remain healthy. And that's how we're rolling at lunchtime with these players.
Remain healthy.
That's what we're rolling with, to be honest. We ain't got no choice.
If Conte was in charge, he'd have a breakdown.
Oh yeah, because he's massive on that as well, isn't he?
He's bruv, no ketchup. Like,
yeah,
look
how he had Lukaku all slim, and then you got N'Golo cooking up all them carbs in the kitchen. Lukaku will blow out, man. It'll be huge. Next thing you know, Lukaku will be coming in overweight again. You know what I'm saying? If Eden Hazard was here, them burgers, oh my goodness.
Oh, if he's finished, he'd be running at 1 mile an hour.
Burgers.
Yeah, it would be ridiculous. So,
I mean, honestly, I don't know about you guys. The whole catering thing, I found a little bit condescending. Like, we're going to take away all of this. Your income's going to be stripped. No tickets, no contracts, no this, no that. You got a budget cap on a match day. You got a cap on travel. We're going to allow you to have food and drink, though. Are you dumb?
Thanks. Get those 3 meals in a day. Get 5 a day for the fruit. Thank you, guys. You know, Boris is such a charitable guy. Have we ever spoken about how charitable this individual is? This man is allowing us to eat. You know, after everything that happened over the pandemic with the NHS, you know, giving them the hotel, you know, not furloughing our staff, you know, still working on all of our charities and getting the players to do their part. He says we can eat, guys, in this tough period. This is just mind-blowing, this individual, you know. I mean, we've seen obviously Rashford's had to step in with the rations for the children, so it's not really a surprise, is it, that he's so stingy on the food? But it's nice to see he's allowing us to eat. Really, we should be thankful because he didn't have to say yes to this. He is more than happy to let us starve. He's done it before. He'll do it again. I'm telling you, it's just incredible. Like, I'm trying to find a video of Lukaku rapping to cheer up everybody in the chat, but I can't find it. Have you guys seen that video?
Your government's mad, man. Your government, like, yesterday when the news dropped, I think we were all like initially shocked of the situation that we were getting into. But now that 24 hours have lapsed, and you actually sit down and you think about it, your government is mad. Like, putting sanctions on a football club, hurting millions of fans, hurting staff members, for what? To save the Ukraine war. It's not doing anything to the Ukraine war. For what? Yeah. To hurt Roman. It's not hurting Roman. Roman's already declared, I don't want any of this 1.5 billion pounds. The whole reason was to chuck in money so I can act it as a safe haven kind of situation for me. So I don't want any of this money back anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these losses are helping me not pay enough taxes. So you're not hurting anyone, Boris, with these sanctions besides fans, players, backroom staff.
Yeah. I mean, it's already come out that, the staff in the megastore, Frankie's, I mean, all that is closed at the bridge now.
Yeah.
Some fans, Pat Nevin has already said some staff have already partially been laid off.
Yeah,
they would.
I heard that they didn't do the pre-match show as well. The pre-match show they usually do on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, so those guys are laid off as well. Oh, yeah, it's understandable. It's
100%. That's all extra content, isn't it? That's not like I think everybody that's remaining is kind of critical to the first team and to the games and to the actual, just running of the fixtures. Anything extra in terms of content, in terms of social media, in terms of all these things, communications, all of these extra jobs, media jobs, especially in the background where they're not paid crazy money, they're normal payment, I'm sure. They're all kind of,
gone
on hold at the moment. And I don't think there was a pre-match show on YouTube. I'm just checking now. There wasn't a pre-match show. There wasn't a halftime show. So all of those things that you see with the presenters and everything, they're definitely on hold at the moment because that's not critical to the running of the football club. That's just extra. That's extra content.
So, your government, what are you doing? I want to ask, what is the aim? Because there has to be an aim to all of this.
The aim is to impress the people around him in Parliament, which is Boris. That's the aim, because he's under pressure. He's had an absolute stink fest. I don't want to get into politics too much with his tenure because I'll be here all day. But he's had an absolute stink fest of a tenure. The way he's handled the pandemic has been nothing short of absolutely historically atrocious. And once he's done putting down the champagne from the party, he needs to obviously win the people back in Parliament. The only way to do that is, of course, to start acting as the tough guy, and less dancing, less rugby tackling kids, and more no actual change though. So a few words from Lukaku though to lift the mood. I thought this guy would come in handy. Obviously, we've heard him speak before. We've heard him speak before, but never like this. So I thought it would be good to get Lukaku's thoughts on this, seeing as he likes to be so transparent in the media.
Picking on these mean streets. None of my friends speak. We all trying to win. But then again, maybe it's for the best though. Because when they're seeing too much, they're trying to get you touched. Whoever said that legal was the easy way out can understand the mechanics of the workers of the underworld. Granted, 95 is how you survive. I ain't trying to survive. I'm trying to live it to the
your
limit.
mouth. What is going on?
Is that mod? In my body. I used to say my skills. I never pray to God. I pray to God. That's right. It's wicked. That's life. I live in and asking for forgiveness for my sins. Is I break bread with the leg head, speaking the brains for the angels of all the evils.
Good service.
Yeah. I thought that was absolutely incredible. He wanted to keep going for another round. I had to close the tab. Unbelievable performance from Lukaku. If he had done that with Sky Italia, None of this would have happened, people. Everything was fine until he opened his mouth. I'm just saying, I'm not running an agenda, but if he had done the rapping, imagine Sky Tally go to his house, they're expecting an exclusive interview. They're like, nothing is the same. We are always peeping out.
They'd be like, all right, take the cameras, lads. We're off. See you later.
You know what? Everybody pack up your shit. He's pissing about again. He's not serious. It would have been quality.
Be one sec,
Absolutely quality. But yeah, it's a madness. Let's get on to the final part, which is, I guess, the fun part of the show where we create crazy hypotheticals as to who could take over our club, how it could go. And I want to start with the sponsorships because obviously 3 temporarily suspended. I haven't reacted as hostile as many Chelsea fans, probably because I have received free kits and tickets from them. Big up your damn selves. They have looked after me many times, as they have for many content creators. So you won't see too many big accounts slashing 3. If you've got over 20k, they are looking after us well over this period of sponsorship. So we're kind of happy with 3. I'm not gonna lie. As much as the logo on the kit don't look good, they've sent me to many games, put me in the box. I've got a few kits out of this, and I really do. I like them. You know, I know a few guys now at them. I've met a few of their marketing people, and they're quite cool people. Now, of course, nobody wants to hear this. They're like, "Fuck, bro, get them out of here." But I'm gonna offer before Miz absolutely drags 3 through the mud. I've already given you the transparency of the fact that I actually have enjoyed them being our sponsor. Not even just because they've helped me out, but also because they've actually helped a lot of content creators out on the platform of Twitter. They've actually been using the artwork. They've been they have been, for me, in terms of engaging with fans, I think it's fair to say, as much as Samsung looks better and Yokohama maybe looks better, in terms of fan engagement, I haven't seen anybody, and I think most people will agree with me, that's on social media. We're not going to just flip-flop like this. I haven't seen a company engage with fans, send out hospitality packages, send out kits, send out, get involved with Chelsea Social, get involved with Aaron, the artist, who does all of the artwork. Let's be real here. 3 have been good with the fans, I think.
Yeah.
From a communication, getting them involved standpoint, using the artwork, like I said, sending loads of people, not just me, let's send loads of people to games. Sometimes even, a lot of smaller accounts. I've seen so many smaller accounts say, oh, they've sent us to a game here. The communication has been good. So I'm not gonna pretend like it hasn't. But from a business standpoint, with those sanctions, and maybe I should go through the sanctions, and then because people are treating 3 like it's their ex-girlfriend. You have to be loyal to me. How could you leave us like this in this predicament? And I understand all of that. And we're going to give Trivago plenty of prop in a minute for staying. But one thing there is clear to mention is Trivago is on a much smaller deal in terms of money and finances. So that's important. And Nike, who are obviously still with us, have a kit manufacturing deal, which is far harder to pull out of than just taking down a few boards and stripping off the 3 logo before Norwich as well. So the deals that those 2 have to come out of are either less money or more difficult. But let's go through some of the sanctions and let's actually try and be mature about this before we probably do drag. Well, I won't, because obviously I benefited. But maybe these guys will drag. Okay, well, you in the comments will definitely drag. So I'm not even going to pretend like you guys are not going to do it. Sanctions for Chelsea. Can't buy new players. That's fine. Doesn't really affect them. Can't offer new contracts. Doesn't affect them. Can't sell new tickets. Less capacity at Stamford Bridge from 42,000 to 25,000. That's half the people, nearly half just under half the people seeing the logo, seeing the branding across the boards. That's not good for a big deal like this, and it is a big deal. I think it's 40 million. Is it every year from them? So it's not
40 million.
Yeah, so it's not cheap change. So again, from a business standpoint, whether you think it's your ex-girlfriend or not, didn't give you a kiss, etc., before going, you think they've cheated on you, whatever. That's a lot of money for a company to shell out and not get the full package. So that's some of the sanctions. That's one of the sanctions there. Obviously, not being able to sell merchandise is the other one. So for me, those are the 2 critical ones. The transfer business doesn't affect them. The contracts don't affect them, and the security cap on 500k and catering cap, whatever it is, that doesn't affect them. But not being able to sell merchandise anymore from this point onwards at the club shop is an L for them, massive L. Obviously, merchandise can be sold at JD, Foot Locker, but who's got time for that? Especially overseas as well. I think that might have an impact. And then obviously the new tickets. You can't go to away games anymore, and you can't. The home games are obviously where all the advertising is. So it's less people going into Stamford Bridge. Do you understand why they've temporarily suspended? Not even saying that fans will even care for them to come back, because obviously, fans are emotional, as they should be. I've always said that. I'm not looking for fans to be robots and come with clarity all the time. It's not our job to do that. They probably won't be accepted for a comeback. This is not John Cena in WWE. This is not Dwayne Johnson. There is no comeback, probably. But can you understand, Ms., why they've temporarily, in their statement, suspended the deal with Chelsea?
Oh, I can understand. But you're a fool. You're an absolute fool, 3. You're a fool. And I'll tell you why you're a fool. This is a temporary issue that Chelsea's going through. You've taken the most cowardice approach here. You buckled as soon as the government imposed all these sanctions. What would have been very refreshing if you had actually stayed and said, you know what? Roman's Roman, and we know he's got some shadow sort of background. But Chelsea Football Club has millions of fans, not just the match-going ones, but the ones that the TV broadcast, the millions that watch you guys across the world. 3 is not just something that's exclusive to only UK. 3 is a global brand. They're all over the world. So you're not just selling to the people that only go to Stamford Bridge. You're selling to everyone worldwide. You should have understood the situation that I don't want to hurt the people, the fans, and this is just a small measure. At the end of the day, Chelsea Football Club as an entity is a lot bigger than Roman. Chelsea's history goes on for, what was it, 100th birthday yesterday, right?
It was 117. Yeah,
117. There you go. So 3, you've now, what was it in social media? They lost like thousands and thousands of followers. You've actually damaged your brand by doing what you did. Because now, when this temporary situation gets fixed, people are just going to go like that, pretty much. We're not going to come back to you, 3. You may want to come back and sponsor us, but you know what? We are disconnecting. And many people I saw on social media yesterday, I'm getting out of 3. I don't want to be with 3. Because you left us during our hard times when you really should have understood the situation, what was going on. It wasn't Chelsea Football Club that started funding these things with Russia and Putin. Like, Chelsea Football Club's not doing that. You look at now Trivago, which I'm sure Matisse will get into, they haven't left. They're staying. They have actually understood the situation that this is a temporary thing. They will get a new owner, and we want to stick by you guys through this process. Now what do you think the Chelsea fans are going to do now?
Start booking hotels on Trivago.
I'll go out of my way and promote Trivago. We might be having a conversation about like food. I'll be like, hey, do you know about Trivago?
I think we should give them the hotel.
Yeah.
We should give them the hotel.
Yeah, and do you know what I mean? Like 3, you've made a mess, man. You've made a mess.
I do think they could have handled it better for sure. I'm not going to just completely blindly stick up for them. I think you could have maybe renegotiated the deal, for this season. Definitely bring it down in terms of something more reflective of what you're getting in terms of the money. And I do feel like they are saving face a little bit, and it is a bit, I don't want to use the word reactionary because everybody's reacting to things at this point. But I like what you said there, is separate Chelsea from the ownership and kind of look at the bigger picture. This will be wrapped up within the next few weeks and months. And then after that, your brand is not going to take a hit because you were associated with us. Just like the players wouldn't be, just like the fans won't be, just like Trivago won't be. I don't think anyway. So whoever's made that decision, it feels a little bit knee-jerk. It feels a little bit rushed, because bigger picture-wise, you couldn't really pick many clubs better to put your logo on. Look at the charity work Chelsea have done. Look at the foundation. Look at the NHS. Look at the good things. Look at the club, the actual club, what it stands for. Look at all of the things that we're involved in, not just this spur of like not just this moment because of obviously ties with Roman. I mean, Younes, what do you make of it? Obviously, Trivago's. I mean, I'll read out Trivago's statement just before you go, just if you want to talk on Trivago as well. We are looking forward to a transition of ownership as soon as possible and want to support the club in this process. We will provide any update to our business relationship if and when appropriate. So, update, you know, if and when appropriate, does kind of allude to the fact that if we have to respond to a lack of movement from the government or Roman in the process of ownership, and we have to therefore change our stance, potentially they will. But there is patience there, and they are they are waiting, and they are sticking by, which I think is a good statement to put out. What do you make of it all, Younes?
Big up Trivago, honestly, because they've realised the situation and they know that Chelsea, as a club, are not responsible for what's been going on. Let's have it right. Chelsea shouldn't be punished. And Trivago have stuck to their contract that they have, their sponsorship. And they realize that this is going to go beyond one man. This is going to go beyond one owner, one phase in time. Chelsea's bigger than all of us. Let's have it right. Remember that. And going into what's going to come when a new owner walks in, into next season or whatever, Chelsea will still be here. Chelsea will be separated from all of this madness at some point. And I think Trivago realized that, and fair play to them, because they're sticking to what they bought into. Let's have it right with the sponsors. Now we're free. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, as far as I'm concerned. See you later. They're obviously trying to do it to protect their own image. I think there's a lot of companies that feel obliged to show to the world, like, you know, we're taking this action, we're suspending because we want to make sure we look like the good guys here. And I don't mean that there's good guys and bad guys, but they're protecting their image. I don't feel like there's much of an image to protect, though. Chelsea, as I've said, are not responsible for what's going on. And Trivago have taken the right direction. But at the end of the day, each company are private. They can make their own decisions. They can go down the directions that they want to go down to. If Free want to feel like they want to separate, see you later. If Trivago want to stay, thank you very much. That's it. Simple as that. Everyone's entitled to what they want to do. Now, obviously, the big fish in the room is Nike.
Yes.
And Hyundai. And it's looking like both of them are going to pull out. So
really?
I mean, they're both reviewing. Nike apparently are going to cut. But it's not official. We'll see. It's a big deal. That's a huge deal. We might have to go back to Umbro. We might have to start wearing Kappa. I don't know.
That's another damn connect. God damn, that's another connect. I have a good relationship with Nike. Shit. How many times am I gonna have to network, bitch? God damn. Shit. No more games for me.
You're not going to games anyway anytime soon.
I'm not proper Chelsea, bro. If you're not a season ticket holder, you're not going to games. That's only 25,000 proper Chelsea now. The numbers are decreasing of proper Chelsea. It is getting very sticky icky in the proper Chelsea camp. They are running out of members very quickly.
We're going back to default.
Human. Yeah. I didn't know that. Where did you read that? Was that on Twitter?
Yeah, no, there's reports that Nike are reviewing the situation in the same way that Free were reviewing the situation. And yeah, it's a big deal. It's 900 million, the whole thing. It's a 15-year deal. If they pull out, like, there is a fear among some people that Chelsea will just run out of money. Like at this point, they'll just run out of money. And if we run out of money, administration.
Yeah. Marina's looking currently at all these deals and thinking to herself, I put in all this hard work to do all these deals and they're just collapsing around me. She's looking at the Trivago, thank God. She's looking at Free, she's thinking, that took me 10 hours to do that presentation. 10 hours. Looking at Nike, I had a whole PowerPoint. The transitions were on point in that PowerPoint. Everything was perfect. Like, what? And if she does stay, that woman, I don't want to hear no criticism on transfer market because she's got to do sponsorship deals. That's her bread and butter. And she's good at those. And she's going to have to get those done because we're going to need new sponsors ASAP. Fuck your transfers. Forget your Declan Rice fetishes and your Chao Chouameni and your all that. Forget all of it. I don't even give a crap if we don't do any transfer business. If we lose that Nike sponsorship, you better understand, Chelsea fans, that is the priority, to get that sponsorship and the shirt sponsorship sorted for the as soon as possible, and to get the best deal possible as well, and that takes time. So don't come in here in the summer if the new ownership comes and she does stay and we do lose these sponsorships talking about, oh, I want Felix and the cat. Oh, I want the... No, nobody cares what you want, okay? It's about getting the club running efficiently like a normal club again before we end up, you know, I don't know, moving like how we did for the FA Cup when we just blanked out the sponsor, only this time it's not on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Bloody hell, mate. Jesus. I am now focused on the future of Karen the canteen lady over Rudiger. That is my new remit. That's how I'm.
And you know what? This is what I'm so mad at. How's your government done this, man?
Bro, if I was to try and explain to you why our government does many things, we'd be here all day. I can't give you a reason.
All the conversations that we've just had, none of them is directed to the Ukraine war. Like, none of them is linked.
Bro, do you not see how the media is moving in terms of this situation? They clearly, some of them, I'm going to say this now, don't care about what's happening in Ukraine. It's very clear from them that they are more interested in trying to shut Chelsea down. I'm seeing journalists with verified accounts talking about they should probably strip them of their trophies as well. I don't think all those trophies were really.
God, I saw that. I saw that.
Bro, we're gonna move on very quickly because I do want to spice it up in terms of I got a lot of jokes to tell and I want to get them off. You're trying to tell me now your priority is stripping trophies from us throughout the Roman era. What about Ukraine? I thought this was about Ukraine and helping the victims, and
it's mad.
What happened to all of that? Are we forgetting about that? Like we forgot about certain other things that I'm not going to talk about as well, or we don't care. We're just focused on this now. Like this is our new story of the week. How many things can we do at Chelsea to liquidate and administrate this club in human resources? Come to the office right now. This is all the things. Is this The Apprentice? Are we fired? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing now?
Bro,
the next task on The Apprentice, bro, is literally going to be try and get Chelsea to Lille in the Champions League. Go on, I dare you. Try it.
Do you know what? You're so right, Matisse, bro. It's not even about Ukraine anymore.
It's not anyway. I mean, there was an article yesterday on the Telegraph. How Chelsea should be relegated.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Chelsea should be relegated.
What's going on?
We're funding the war.
Literally, yeah. Like,
to be honest, Miz, when I did pick up that top in the mega store, I did think that's going towards weapons. God damn, I did think that.
This is going directly towards a tank.
I'm burning that shirt as we speak.
I'm upset
just
now.
Over there in my fake fireplace, burning over there. It's just, the smoke alarm's about to go off any minute now. I mean, it's incredible. It really is.
Do they not realize,
bro?
Romans made diddly squat from Chelsea,
bro. There's no point. There's no point getting into it because we literally have Boris Johnson as our prime minister. The man is incompetent. I don't want to get too political because it will just take too long. It's not because I'm afraid to. It would just take too long. But this guy literally. He literally threw a party and tried to lie about it. Like this is the way we operate. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to focus on the hypotheticals of where this club could potentially go if we go into administration and we liquidate, or we'll maybe get to the liquidate part later because we do have a song based on it, and that would be quite ironic and telling. That was my first joke. You see, I told you I need a good 7 minutes to reel off these jokes. I really do. Now, like I said, I was looking into sponsorship. Blockbusters, HMV, Toys R Us. These are the type of companies that could be on that shirt. Yeah, Woolworths. Yeah, these could be the type of companies. Let's talk about the pros. I've already gone through Tesco. Like I said, meal deals, still Tesco Mobile, so still potentially not 5G, but maybe 4G at the bridge. And club card points as well, which is, we could use that on anything. You know, we could use club card points on Rudiger's salary, maybe not Rudiger, maybe someone cheaper like, I don't know, Ian Matson or someone, I don't know. But Toys R Us, we could bring them back from the dead, Younes. We all remember what Toys R Us used to mean to us as a kid. That could be the partnership as we head towards the Conference League, not the European one, the real one. We bring back. Imagine we bring back Toys R Us and HMV and all these companies with us. We get them on the arm. We get them on the. We just as a community just rise. Everybody just rise together.
It was just nostalgia FC at this point.
Nostalgia FC. Oh my god. Ownership wise, I don't even know where to even start. Where we could go. I mean, I've seen us linked with Conor McGregor. Now, now that Kanye West. That man is very unpredictable these days. Can you imagine? Kanye West? I could see it. I could see it now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really could. I just look at the future of this club and I say to myself, anything could happen. So I'm telling fans to just go game by game, literally, just game by game. I saw a tweet. Someone was saying that Lukaku's been Roman's frozen asset for months. That was harsh. That really did hit. I'm not gonna lie. That was wild. Just bare banter being rolled on by rival accounts as well. I mean, Miz, what's your dream scenario for Chelsea at this point in terms of like the future?
Oh, it's long, bro. It's long. I was just checking the Twitter timeline as well. I'm just depressed. Best case scenario is before Newcastle game or after the Newcastle game, Roman tells UK government, you control the sale of the football club, get it sold, and we run in some form of operation end of next week. As you said, Matisse, I could care less about Declan Rice, Jules Koundé, and whoever else. I just want the football club to be back where we can sell tickets to people to go and watch matches, where people can buy merchandise. The simple things in life. Do you know what I mean? You've literally taken away the simple things in life. And it honestly, this is a deeper meaning, man. Like we fight about, this player, that player, or like literally there's wars in Twitter about players and insulting your parents over players. Damn. Look how minuscule life is when everything is stripped away from you. Not a single human being in the social media is talking about Declan Rice now. Matisse is worried about that canteen lady. Is she going to get paid this week? It's true, though.
It's true.
She's going to get paid. I could care less who we bring in. I just want the club back, man. ASAP. And reset. Thank you, Roman. But now it's beyond a joke now, to be honest. We were laughing. We were doing this and that. It's beyond a joke. Roman, here's a message for you, brother. Leave Chelsea Football Club ASAP. I'm being honest. Thank you. But you need to leave, brother. You are now damaging the football club. Thank you for everything you've done. But you're strangled. The UK government's got you badly. Let go of Chelsea Football Club, please. Just let it go. Because I can't. This is not fair, man. We could possibly get liquidated. Like, I'm being serious.
I don't think it will get to that, but it would be a madness. It would be a madness.
If Roman, say, for example, just goes,
just being deducted by 9 points is actually wild. That really puts our Champions League football for next season, which we need, by the way, for funding, hugely now, in jeopardy. We cannot afford to be, if we're just to scale it down to the immediate threat, we cannot afford to go into administration and to be 9 points deducted. We cannot afford that, because we're talking about revenue streams. We're talking about money. We need Champions League football. And in fact, this team, I hope they know that they actually need to go as far in the Champions League as possible now for money, period. That's for that reason alone. Yeah, just for the money. I was making a joke that we need to sell match day tickets. That's why I'm so happy to get through to the next round of the FA Cup. Now there's no away fans going to Middlesbrough. That's kind of just ruled out. But
yeah,
Lille away next. That game is huge for Chelsea. They have to qualify these rounds of the Champions League, round of 16,
or else they don't get paid. They will not get paid.
If you don't win,
you get paid.
It's true.
Younes, how do you think we should even travel to Lille at this point?
Bro, I mean, Thomas Tuchel said after yesterday's game, as long as we've got shirts and we've got a bus, we'll go everywhere. But that means petrol. And I don't know if everyone's realised the petrol prices have shot up to like nearly £2 a flipping litre at this point. It's ridiculous. So I don't know if that's even going to be sufficient enough. We might not be able to afford that. I mean,
I hear the Eurostar is also quite expensive. From my trip to Paris, they do charge quite a pretty penny. Luckily, France aren't asking for antigen tests anymore for 35 quid a pop. That saves.
That saves a little bit. Not honestly, like going to Lille, unless that's already covered, cool. If it's not already covered, then honestly, like even if we make it, say we qualify, how are we going to make the quarterfinal? How are we going to make the semi-final? Like,
everything has got to be wrapped up by then, or we're going to be in some serious shit.
What this is the thing.
We're lucky we're not going to like Russia, like Zenit. I mean, that game would have been called off anyway. It would have been moved, but we're lucky we ain't going far. Like, I don't know, who's the furthest in Europe to travel to? That's still a realistic destination. I don't know, like Barcelona or something.
Honestly,
Barcelona's not in there.
I mean, the Europa League now, but
of course, yeah. Sorry about that.
Madrid, Real Madrid, I suppose, if that could be a possibility next.
You ain't taking coach to Real Madrid. You ain't taking no mega bus to Real Madrid.
Ryanair.
How long is that by bus?
Bro, days. These players are about to face harsh reality. They're going to be on the district line tapping Oyster cards, and they're going to be in Ryanair in economy class, getting their seats kicked by fucking Charlie, the 7-year-old. Kai's going to have a bad back in the game because he's used to flying on first class. He's not going to know what hit him. Any of them brothers that are not used to the hard knock life, for us, you about to get comfy. I may even book a flight to Lille just to try and get close to these players now. I might be sitting next to freaking Mason Mount. You never know. Do you know what I'm saying? Looking at him. He's asking, do you get fed on? No, there's no food, Mason, on this plane. Okay. We are on EasyJet economy. We don't get fed. In fact, we actually have to regurgitate our own throw up and hand it to you. That is how it works here. So you may get skinnier. You may be faster when you're off this plane. Okay. So you slow down there, Mason, talking about food, bread and water. Behave yourself.
Well, like we're at a point now. Like there've been some suggestions, for example, to open up the gates and allow fans just for free. Yeah, because it's better than not having any fans.
That's a very good idea. They should do that.
Gab Marcotti was saying that. Yeah.
I like Gab Marcotti. Good idea, Gab.
How it's done, though? How it's done? Like, are you going to just open the doors on the day? Because if not, you're going to get a stampede. Or
that would be hilarious.
Are you going to allow the processing online for the tickets to be sent out? That costs money. Like,
yeah, we can't afford to waste any paper. There's printing costs.
For free.
Especially if
we're going to have to give away free tickets. And that's going to cost. So, bruv,
tickets need to be in black and white, Younes.
But literally, it's going to have to be the cheapest paper. Like, honestly, this is the point we're at. We have £28 million a week on our wage bill right now.
Bro, suspend Timo Werner.
$28 million.
These are the players that I've got a list of players that we need to suspend their wages for no reason at all, apart from the fact that we're broke. Okay, it's got nothing to do with disciplinary issues. Just suspend them. Just suspend them. Lukaku, 325k a week. Suspend him. He's not doing enough on the football pitch. Suspend him. Werner, 270k a week. Suspend him. Kepa, suspend him. 155k. Loftus-Cheek, 150k. Suspend him. Hudson-Odoi, 120k. Suspend him. Saul Niguez on loan, 198k. Suspend him. Malangsar, 100k. Suspend him. Barkley, I don't know how much he's on, but just suspend him anyway. Suspend all of those guys. I had jokes and I told you, Miz, I'm telling them whether you like it or not. Suspend all of these brothers, okay? Dock them 2 weeks' wages. I tell you, it is going to be the difference between winning and losing at our football club in terms of the future. I haven't even calculated what all of those wages even add up to. It's a lot of money, though.
28 million. I mean,
yeah.
We won't even make that with 25,000. What's the average price with the?
I mean, the season tickets have already been sold, so we're not.
It's already been sold, so that money's already been collected.
It's already been collected, yeah.
Problem is, we can't access any of our money now.
It's frozen, yeah, true. Yeah,
it's frozen. Like we're I'm sure Boris Johnson will make some more sacrifices to the minimum wage and the universal credit costs and hand that to Chelsea as part of the. Oh my god!
I got jokes, baby. I'm going to tell him.
Universal
we were
credit.
speaking off air, yeah. We were speaking off air talking about how the Elizabeth line is going to be built faster than ever because the money that Chelsea are just going to get taken out of their bank accounts from Boris. You're going to have that central part of the Elizabeth line. You're going to have that up in months, people, maybe even weeks. Don't worry about your business. You will be able to get from Heathrow to Oxford Circus Tottenham Court Road in 30 minutes flat. Watch the new infrastructure. We're going to have those motorways like they have in America where everything's just like wide and like the North Circle is just going to expand by like 5 lanes and they're just going to fucking have all these roads just intertwining. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have a Blackwall tunnel that just goes under the whole of London. Watch the infrastructure. You do not understand. It is going to be nuts. We got the mayor of London talking about he's going to have to make budget cuts on TFL. Not anymore, motherfucker.
Honestly. You know what's
that Victoria line is gonna slap Younes. Younes, we got connects, bro. Watch how quickly we're getting into Central, bro. Watch.
It's gonna be crazy.
Trains every 30 seconds, ramming up each other's ass.
Just to show how deep this has gone, yeah. I've come across what one Liverpool fan has done. Right, he's messaged Premier Inn and Travelodge on Twitter. Okay. And he's asked, do you have rooms in Middlesbrough, Friday the 18th? A couple of family rooms for 16 footballers and a few staff. Best price. Regards, Chelsea FC. Premier Inn have replied. I'm not kidding. They've gone, hi there. Thanks for getting in touch with us. Sadly, we're unable to quote prices or availability here, as this can change quickly. However, if you DM us, we should be able to give you the details for our group bookings team.
Oh, my days. We're a freaking banter, bro. We're a meme.
Oh my god, bro!
Crazy.
It's
Crazy.
Give us our club back, man. Seriously.
This is not here for the jokes.
It's depressing, man. It really is. Like,
It is.
It was funny last week. It really, like, I can't get around it now. Like, it's...
Bro, the only way I'm coping with this is to pretend it's not happening. Literally. I have said this to everybody that watches my content. You will not get any sort of, like, deeping it from me. I'm not deeping this. I'm going to remain deluded. I'm going to remain in my own universe like Mason and Kai were against Norwich, and I am going to pretend like this is not happening because this is the only way I can handle it. This what is happening right now is I've never seen it happen before. We've never seen it happen before at our club, apart from when Ken Bates literally saved the bridge, literally. And I was quite young back then, so I must have been about, what was that, 2003, 3? Yeah. So I would have been 6 years old. So I didn't even know what they were talking about. Save the bridge. Is this what, London Bridge is falling down again? What's going on? Like, literally, I hadn't a fucking clue. Not a clue what was going on. I was just chilling, vibing, watching Thomas the Tank Engine, living my life. This time, Thomas the Tank Engine is not on air, and I am with All You Can Eat Chelsea, and we're going to start plugging our YouTube channels. And also, if you'd like to donate, I'm joking.
That's a joke, football club.
I don't even know if I'm even premiering this, let alone super chats. Big up your damn selves for watching. We're gonna wrap it up because I haven't got any more jokes left. And yeah, that's literally the reason. We've been going for an hour and a half, and I don't want to depress Miz any longer. Miz, let them know where to find you.
The other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, whatever. Subscribe, like, do the rest. You know what to do. Just do it.
This is the future of Chelsea YouTube, people. This is going to be us just like crying. Oh, man.
Sad days, man.
What about you, Younes? Where can they find you?
It's right here. Cheers. You know the drill. Younes Talks Football. Yeah. I'd normally try and find out what's going on elsewhere in the world of football, but let's face it, we're not. It's going to be all Chelsea. So, yeah, if you want more Chelsea insight, you know where to go.
And for me, obviously on Twitch, I'll be doing the Drive to Survive series as well. So check that out if I'm already live or I may be live soon when this comes out. For the watch
Drive to Survive.
Yeah, the Netflix
is that
series
featuring is that featuring Chelsea Football Club?
It's
Drive
just
to Survive.
It's just I was gonna make such a bad joke there about Marcus Alonso. Let me not do it. It literally, yeah. You already know at this point. I'm not even gonna do it. But literally, it's like, yeah, it's just a madness, man. It's just a madness. Literally, it's bro. I have no words in it. This football club, for a day-to-day basis, is just killing me slowly. So yeah. Check out the content. We'll be covering, obviously, Newcastle on Sunday. Tomorrow, I'll have an exclusive interview coming out with a Premier League footballer who is still currently playing. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I have said a few times on stories and a few times on, I think I said it on Twitch as well. So I'm sure they'll spoil it in the comments, but try not to if you can. So yeah, there's going to be an interview coming out on Saturday morning there. And until then, donate to the club. I don't know. Leave money, dash money over the fence. Do something.
Money is frozen. Donate nothing to Chelsea. It's all frozen.
Every time you throw a coin over the gate, it just literally freezes.
The cash is there. It's just been locked up. We can't access it.
Locked up. Don't let me down. Oh.